as well, because and we are getting it. By the way, it's because of understandably the bulk of the attention of public opinion in the U.S. is now geared to the financial situation, and everybody understands that. Perhaps this news about the detention of drug traffickers in the U.S. didn't get the attention that it deserved, but it was huge in Mexico. Again, we're beginning to see signs of encouragement, and we are hoping that we will get more. There's also been blunt talk from the media, from other sources, that Mexico is a failed state. I go back and forth to Mexico. I spoke to the television a while ago. I encourage people to go there and to see for yourselves and to go back and tell everybody, because what's happening in Mexico is real. I'm not lying to you. I'm not hiding anything from you. There are certain places that I would certainly not encourage you to go. You know, I'm sorry, Ciudad Juárez is one of them. I'm sorry. My family comes from there right now. No, that's for certain. There are other places that it's, well, to put it mildly, it's not advisable to go there. But we have, again, statistics to show you. In 2008, we had 22 million foreign visitors to Mexico, out of which, give or take, almost 18 million were U.S. citizens. In fact, right now it's a great bargain to go to Mexico. Great bargain. Because the peso is in a horrible shape. I would explain that, if you will, if you ask me. And inflation hasn't, the peso has been devalued in the last 2 or 3 months, and inflation hasn't caught up with this de facto devaluation. So this is a great time to go to Mexico. You go to the resorts, to the beautiful archaeological sites. You go to the beautiful colonial cities like San Miguel, near León. I cannot guarantee to anyone that nothing will happen to you, as I'm sure my colleagues in Mexico would not and should not guarantee any Mexican visitor that comes to the U.S. that nothing will happen to him or her. But if you go to Mexico, to the very well known and traveled places, tourist places, chances are, being struck by a lightning, it's more likely, and I'm being very serious. If, of course, common sense always tells you, go to places where the hotels would recommend you to go, the tourist guides, people that are not looking for trouble, go to. We were witnessed that the State Department issued a travel advisory only recently, and we of course respect this very much. The State Department is doing its job, and one has to read it very carefully. Some people have interpreted this that the State Department is telling Americans not to go to Mexico. This is not what the State Department has said, the travel advisory. But nevertheless, we also we respect, as I said, this right, but we put forth our own points of view. Lastly, I will encourage for you to ask questions, but lastly, the Mexican economy is reeling from the financial crisis, like every other economy in the world. And we are even more so because I mentioned the trade with U.S. and Mexico, and given the size of the Mexican economy, we are almost totally dependent, and I'm not ashamed to say it, to the U.S. economy, and goes without saying that we are suffering from the financial crisis that originated in the U.S. But having said that, we learned a lot from the financial crisis that that we went through before. By the way, this is the only big financial crisis that we didn't create. I mean, because in Mexico, when we went through a financial crisis, it was always something that we have done. This time it's not, but it's no. I mean, it's not important, and it's no consolation because it's a real problem. But we are in a much better condition now to face the financial crisis that we were before, and we are doing things that, without, of course, having the huge amounts of money to energize the Mexican economy, we are doing similar things in certain strategic areas in Mexico, like we for instance, they had allotted a budget, sizable budget for infrastructure, and President Calderon announced that not only would this money not be cut, but we would inject a bit more into it so that we could generate more jobs. We have also taken some, what I consider to be very, ¿cómo se dice, innovative measures, like stoppages at huge factories without, so that we don't have to close them. Instead of that, they are working 3-4 days a week. Hence, they are not firing employees, but we are going, of course, through a very difficult time. Projections is that Mexican economy would decrease to the tune of 1.8%, 2% perhaps. But anyway, we are we are ready for when this crisis is over, because it will be over. Nobody knows when, but it will. We are poised to grow